Matthew Knies with his roommate John Tavares now on the second line, and Willie Nylander. What do you make of that?
Lots of potential. Willie and Tavares have been a couple of standouts this year on the forward side of things. I've noticed them a lot. I've liked what they've brought. Obviously, Austin Matthews has overshadowed both of them, but they've looked quite solid at the beginning of the year. And Kniesy is my boy, and I want him to go out there, get his first tickle of the year tonight, get that monkey off his back. And, hopefully this can be a line that evolves into something that is a mainstay in the lineup. These guys could get tons of mojo going, get clicking. And like you say, they live together. They could, do everything together and get a lot of that chemistry going amongst themselves would be the ideal thing. And I don't know, man, you could break it down however you want and have your different opinions on it. But in order to get chemistry going, you have to give it a chance and an opportunity. So let's bookmark this morning on the start of this experiment on this line and see how long they let it last. I mean, it's like, look at the line. It's a good line. You're not going to hurt anything by letting it go for a couple of weeks, letting them get used to each other. There's all the reason in the world to think that there's potential there. Let's see if Sheldon Keefe lets them play and gives them a chance to get that chemistry going. Because once you get chem going and once you get that momentum rolling with a line, oftentimes it can be hard to stop, and you can have months of just dominance if you let it fester and turn into something special. And so far, I don't believe that they have even given any line a chance to get to that point, because he blows it up all the time, man. And I know it's early, but let's just bookmark this time and see how long he lets this experiment last.
Well, a couple of things. I can tell you first and foremost, surprise, surprise, the analytics community does not like the look of this combination. They say it's going to last about one period. I think it's going to last more than the Nylander to center experiment. Number two, I think there's the chemistry there. Like we mentioned it, John Tavares lives with Matthew Knies. He lives with Fraser Minten. We'll get to that story too. But I get why they elected to start the season with the Minten and Knies combo. They had a lot of chemistry in training camp. They're both kids. It made a lot of sense. But in the grand scheme of things, and we talked about this yesterday, Max Domi, I think, is better suited to be a third-line forward than a top-six guy at this point in his career. Like, he hasn't had that sustainability, the consistency in recent years that suggests he should be a mainstay in the top six. And again, it's a long season. I think in the long run and short term, Matthew Knies is better suited to be a top-six winger. And on top of that, I think a lot of this is about Knies' confidence. He's a young player in the league. He's played a handful of games. Hasn't scored yet. You've played in this league, and maybe you're the wrong person to reference, but if you don't score for a couple games, it goes to your head to start the season, no?
Well, it's hard for me to...
And that was a shot, too, by the way. A full-fledged shot at you.
It's hard for me to relate to that. I mean, it was just my third game in the NHL when I tickled the twine, so I don't really know where these guys are coming from when they haven't tucked in a while. It's difficult for me, but I can guess that it would hurt the confidence. I imagine it feels bad. Again, I don't really know what that's like.
I think you had that feeling if you didn't fight for like 3 games, probably.
Pretty much. It's like, what am I doing here? No, I mean, a definite confidence booster for him. I like him in the top six because top six is so heavily offensive. They're so heavily creative and so heavily talented. It's nice to have a Kniesy, who I kind of consider him a little bit of a power forward, so to speak. He gets down there. He just has that wide-legged body that can protect the puck and go get the puck out of the corners, keep it away from their defensemen and get possession of it, and then get it in the hands of those studs. And then when, Nylander's looping around the net and coming up to the top and doing his thing, he can find those little soft spots and sneak off to a little backdoor corner and find the open ice that inevitably could lead to a bunch of points for these guys. So I don't know about the analytics community and what they're talking about or why they think that wouldn't work, but hopefully, at least if that's something that they want in the future, they give it a chance to blossom.